Hi, good evening. My name is Carl Hinder and I'm the business coach with Salon Help. Welcome to Quick Coach TV, which I run at 8:30 p.m. every Wednesday evening. Certainly every Wednesday evening this year, I'm going to be here at 8:30 p.m. British Summer Time until 9:30 p.m. answering your questions. I can answer your questions on any business issues in the hairdressing beauty industry, spas, therapies, anything you want. I'm here to help you with business issues, my guys. Okay. So tonight I'm going to be talking about the people you should and shouldn't listen to when you're running a business. I'm going to talk about retailing, of course. I think we're going to have a few people calling in regarding pricing, and we're going to have a quick nod to Christmas because we're now in September and we've got to keep at least one eye on Christmas over the next few weeks. I assume everybody can hear me fine. Unfortunately, I'm broadcasting directly from Facebook tonight, which means there's some delay between the voice and my movements, but don't worry about that. It's all going to be the same. It's all going to be great, and you can watch the rerun afterwards as well. So if you are there, if you can put up a message, I can see all your messages today. I can see you coming in, but I can't see who you are unless you declare yourself. Be great to see you with me this evening. Just someone give me a nod, say we're all going good, and then we're going to start this evening with all the subjects that you want. Now, don't forget, guys, this is Quick Coach TV. This is Quick Coach, not Slow Coach. This is all about quick questions. I'm going to talk fast. You've got 1 hour of my time to answer as many questions as I can. If I can't help you direct online, and I haven't failed yet, I'll catch you after the show and make sure you get proper quality information. But this is all about answering your questions as quickly as I can. So really, really try and help you out with things that you are looking for. So I can't see any questions as yet. I'm going to do a quick double refresh here just to make sure that you're all here and with me. And then I'm going to restart our event. Okay, let's have a look. Where are you? There we are. Okay. Let's see. Anyone on board? Okay, now they're all up. Great, great, great. I don't know what happened there. It was all very quiet. Michael Pudley, thank you, Michael, for joining me. Nicole Carey, thank you for joining me. Michael Pudley, good evening, sir. How are you? Johnny Cox has joined me. Johnny Cox, yes, Carl. It was a blank screen, Johnny. I don't know what was going on. Lee Moore, I hope you're well, sir. Becky, I thought you was working late. I'm so pleased that you have joined me. And Johnny Cox, here, mate, great, all good. Anyone bored? Good. How many factors do you add into pricing? Only because location makes a massive difference. Location, Michael, makes hardly any difference initially. There's no... When you're working on prices, you do not take location into consideration. The first thing you must take into consideration is all your overheads, okay? This is the most important thing. Your competition, your location, all that sort of stuff is really, really kind of secondary. So, because once you've worked out the profitability, you do it with this. So you add up all your costs, okay? So everything. So it'll be your fixed costs and your all your other costs as well. So it'll be everything from your wages, your utilities, your rent, everything that you actually got to expend on your business, and then including your wages, Michael, okay? And if you're not taking wages, then really you have a problem with your business. If anybody wants to ask questions about that as well, they can. So you take all your overheads. This is the most important. Then we add in the profit that you need to make. Okay, now this profit is going to be for things like refurbishing your business, replacing the equipment. Maybe you need a good profit in your business if you want to get another mortgage, if you want to regrow. And of course, this profit, Michael, is there as you a reward. You know, this profit is you a reward for taking all the risk in running your business. So that's where you start with your prices. Now, the area, the location is going to have impact on that, not in your mind, but because that location is probably going to have a higher rent. So you're already, in a way, taking that into consideration. You know, if you've got a salon in Mayfair, trust me, your mortgage or your rent is going to be so high, it is built into your prices. Maybe your council taxes or your business rates, rather, if you're paying any at all, could be higher in that area. So you don't need to take into consideration location for location's sake. Okay, as long as all those figures stack up. So you add up all your costs, you add up, all your costs, then you add in the profit that you want. Then you go backwards and you divide that by your operating hours. Okay, this is not a quick process. I can do this with you as a coach if you need to do it salon by salon, but you divide it by your operating hours, and it tells you that your overheads are, say, £5,000 a week, and your operating hours are 100 hours a week, and you divide the one into the other, and it tells you how much you've got to take every hour or every operating hour. You can then divide that by 60, and it'll tell you how much you've got to generate every minute. And then let's say it turns out that you've got to operate at £1 a minute, and of course, let's say a man's haircut is 30 minutes, then you know that the minimum price that you can charge for that service is £30, okay, £1 per minute. And that has taken into consideration the location. The only time I would move outside of that and look at things like the competition and maybe the area is if you're trying to get your prices even higher than that. I definitely wouldn't go the other way. I wouldn't say I've got to generate £1 a minute, which is £30, and then say, well, I'm in a dodgy area. I'll reduce it to 25, because that just simply means you are now going to make a loss. Look, I don't want to simplify pricing too much. It takes about half day's coaching to actually get it spot on with a salon, but that's it roughly. It's all your overheads divided by your time. They give you a minute time, and then you multiply that by how long it takes to do something. Now, in some cases, you got to add on other things as well. Some of the salons I've been working with, we add a 25% supplement for colors, and that gets us pretty near to where they are with colors, because they got foils in there and color and peroxides and all those kinds of things. So I hope that kind of answers that one as quickly as possible. Happy to come back to as well. Johnny, good mate, I can see you on here, just delayed. Okay, no problem. Lisa, thanks for joining me. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Simon, great to have you on board. I've missed you over the last few weeks. I think you've been lingering in and out, but you've had a nice low profile. Good evening, Angela and Mark. Sharon Tyler Creed, great. Mark Dawson, thank you, sir. I know you're an avid follower. That's great. Sharon Tyler, sorry I missed you. Been on a biker's night. Do you know what? If it's a motorcycle that you're talking about, Sharon, I would rather do that as well. No offense to anyone. Thanks, Michael, for the hearts up. Jennifer Sullivan, thanks, Jennifer, for joining in. If you have any questions tonight, please fire away. Hi, Chris Sutton, Wilshire. Okay, Mark, what percentage of potential clients do you suggest break-even should be? Okay, so I'll answer that in a different way. When we're looking at participation, when I'm looking at how busy a stylist should be, I never expect them to be less than 80%. So 80% of their time should be involved in the process of making money. Okay, so if you're under 80%, I would say your business is going to be making a loss. Like I said, when you're adding all these things in, it takes a while to get each individual salon spot on. When you're working out the price, though, you are looking at this. This is what I do, is you look at what would be 100% capacity, and we all know that we can never, ever get to 100% capacity, because even if we were full for 100%, we know someone isn't going to turn up. Someone's going to be ill, be late, die, or even a stylist not turn up or something like that. For that, I would add in 20% to my overall price calculation to make sure that you're always, always covered. But I'm looking for 80% of my time or of my team's time to always, always, always be engaged with making money. Okay. Oh, thanks, Michael. Great answer. Erin Joy. Hi, Erin. Thanks. Mark Sullivan. Great. So I got a whole army of you on you tonight. Any questions, guys? Look, this is Quick Coach TV. It's on 8:30 p.m. every single Wednesday evening this year for sure. You can phone in 07931 518 642. I can take your call right here, right now, and I can answer any questions. Or, like the other guys have been doing, you can put up the questions as we go. I'm going to be on you for an hour, and the only time I'm going to stop is to take a quick drink of tea, but I'm not going anywhere. Okay, so look, one of the important issues, I think pricing, I want to talk about quite a lot tonight, but there's a small issue that I want to start off with that is slightly different. You know, when I'm working with salons, they come up with a lot of salon owners, this is, and then their teams, because the salon owners do, the teams tend to behave in a similar way. Look, this is what happens. If you are negative about your business in any way, let's say you don't want to retail because you don't think it's worth it because you can get the products on Amazon or there's not enough profit. Let's say you won't put your prices up because you don't think your customers would appreciate it. Let's say whatever it is that you believe, whatever you believe, your teams are there going to follow. And what I find is this. You're going to laugh when I interview one of you next, when you want to work with me. I'm trying to work out when I'm talking to you is, do you have the aptitude, the right aptitude to actually make these changes? And one of the things that I see quite soon and quite quickly is that those people who are struggling, if you like, those people who don't want to make the changes justify their failure. Okay, so this is a kind of hot tip for you, if you like. If you're finding that you're justifying your own failure on a daily, weekly basis, you know, maybe you're kind of using things like, I couldn't do it because I didn't have enough time. We couldn't do it because, I don't know, it was, I didn't have enough staff, or I couldn't get staff because the whole world is against me. I couldn't do, you know, once you start justifying your failure, you know, once you realize I can't get through the VAT threshold because of the tax man, once you start justifying, that's what you do, right? So what I want you to do is to start listening to yourselves. The next time you make an excuse for something, I'm not saying it's not real. Okay, so like VAT is real, you know, the tax man, he is real. Getting staff is difficult. I get all these things. But once you start justifying failure, once you say, look, I can't get over 100,000 because of this. Maybe it's because of my location. I can't put up my prices because A, the team won't let me. B, my customers will hate it and they'll all leave. See, you are justifying why you are happy to fail. And I don't mean you're happy like, yeah, we're going to fail, but you are happy to accept those excuses. Oh, you're all back, Lisa. That's great. I'm back as well, and we're back in the full flow. Look, if you've got any questions, guys, get them up on this screen or phone in 07931 518 642. This is my fastest hour of the week. I'm on from 8:30 in the morning till midnight on a Wednesday, helping you with anything that I can. You can phone in, you can message, and I'm going to give you some kind of direction. Now, I call it Quick Coach TV because I didn't want to be a slow coach, but this is not really coaching, guys. I can only give you quick answers to quick questions, but I can point you in the right direction. If you need more support, then find yourself a coach or give me a call, of course. Now, you've justifying your failure. Listen to yourselves. Once you can hear all these things going on, you've got a bit of a problem. Victoria, thank you for joining me. This has got to be a great evening. All my favorite people are on yours so far. Only a couple of people missing that I'm used to having on you, and it's early yet. Look, we've got an hour. We've got 45 more minutes to answer your questions. Please put your questions up on the board in front of me. I'm looking down and I'm reading them. As they come through, I will answer them. Now, once you stop, hi, Jennifer, great, thanks for coming on. Once you realize, that you are justifying your failure, you're kind of on the step to taking down all the barriers. You know, it's impossible. If you think about it like this, it's impossible for me when I go to a salon to see a salon that has got fully staffed, okay, is fully staffed at one end of the high street, and another salon at the other end of the high street can't get fully staffed. And usually it's not to do with the availability of staff. It's to do with the one salon owner saying, I can't do it, they don't exist, and the other one saying, I'm going to get them whatever happens. Okay, it's like one salon owner saying, I'm only going to survive on 50,000, I can't get over it. And the other salon owner saying, I need £450,000 to keep paying for these cars and holidays and whatever I've got to do. So it is all to do. It's psychology, guys. Once you start justifying your failure, you are on the track to failure. You're in the midst of it already, and it's not going to serve you well. Okay, so next, hey, who we got? Any questions, guys? You can phone in 07931 518 642. This is Quick Coach TV every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Now, I said in a few of the trailers, look, there's people in this industry or people around you that you should not be taking advice off. Now, who are these people? Now, there's multiple. Some of them you're paying, guys. I had a discussion with someone yesterday who said that, who do I get advice off, Carl? I've tried to speak to my bank manager. Now, God knows how he found him or her. I didn't check if it's a him or her because there's not a lot of bank managers out there anymore. There's a few business managers, but I got to say, guys, you cannot be going to these people to find out how to run a salon, a spa, a therapist. They haven't got a clue. That's all they can see is your historic data or your potential forecasts. They can only look at numbers. They cannot see the marketing potential. They cannot see the potentially new. They're not trained to do that. They don't understand it. And they probably have never, ever, ever been near their own real business. So number one, I would not be going to my business manager or my bank manager asking for any kind of advice whatsoever. Lisa Williamson, staff. You're going to have to help me out a bit, Lisa. Don't just say staff. What do you want me to do with them? Make that question a bit bigger, or you can phone in 07931 518 642 and I will carry on until I know what the question is. Okay. So that's the first person. Now, the second person, this is a bit more contentious because I know some of these people are very, very, very good, and some of them are friends and colleagues of mine. The second person I want you to think twice about before taking business advice off is your accountant. I can tell you now, back in around 2005, I had an accountant nearly wiped me out. It's not that she wasn't a good accountant. She was a very good bookkeeper. She was a very good person of numbers, but she did not know how to run my style of business. She came and told me how to reduce my costs. She wanted me to reduce my staffing. She wanted me to absolutely obliterate my marketing costs. Now, I'm trying to grow at the time up to 6 salons, and she's trying to cut me back on marketing. Listen, guys, these guys don't know what they're doing in many, many cases. What I would say, you need to make sure that you interview, that you treat them like an interview, and you find out more information about them before you take on an accountant. I mean, my accountant that I have now is absolutely fantastic. I know you can't have their number, but so your accountants you need to be very, very particular about. They are, of course, fantastic and the right people to be going to get advice on things like taxation. You must go to them for that. Don't come to me for it, and don't go to your bank manager either. You've got to go to this. A matter of VAT taxation, they're not necessarily going to give you the right answer. Have a look at my VAT video on my YouTube channel. It's going to tell you what you need to do going forward. You see, if you go to your accountant, they are going to say to you, do this VAT level, maybe it's 13% or 12% to start, 13% after a year, instead as a flat rate instead of going to 20%. And you can't blame them if you are rubbish at retailing, because that's all they can do is look back. They're going to make a decision based on the historic performance of your business, okay? So they can't forecast. They can't see what you're doing. So what I'm saying is be careful with your accountants. Make sure you're getting the right information from the right professionals, okay? So there's your bank managers. There's your accountants. Okay, what questions have we got? Who have we got? Reps are terrible on business advice, and so many animals take heed. Listen, Mark, listen, all of you, please, right? Even if you're a rep on here, I would rather cut my arm off, okay, and throw it in the sea than take advice off a rep from a supplier. Now, I don't mean that you shouldn't, hear them out. If you're in a networking meeting with them or something, all these people have got certain bits of information that you should gather in your mind and you should assess. There's everyone in my business world we listen to and we assess and we take information from them where possible. But taking information from a rep, it's like going to a Ferrari garage or a Porsche garage. What do you think he or she is going to sell you? They're going to sell you a Porsche or a Ferrari. They're not going to give you the information that you need for the whole business, for the holistic business. They are going to give you information, and it's going to be very, very narrow. Okay. Now, it might be that they've picked it up going around salons, and I know lots and lots and lots and lots of reps, so no disrespect to you guys on a personal level, but not many of you are business-wise in the sense of what some good coaches, some good mentors, and some good consultants are. So listen, salons, I would not be taking advice off a rep in general. No way, Jose. Thank you, Mark. That's great. Keeping staff. Oh, right. Okay, keeping staff. Okay, you make me work, Mark. You're making me work. I'm sending you a bill. The best way to keep staff? Right, okay. First of all, the best way to keep staff, the important part first. The most important part about keeping staff is not to worry about losing them, okay? So if you're in a position where you think all the time, I'm going to lose them, and you are reacting to them, maybe they want a pay rise, maybe you're just a bit more lenient on them, maybe you don't have performance measures in place, etc., that is going to cause you to not manage them, okay? So the first thing about keeping staff is not worrying about losing them, okay? I know it sounds odd. That's the first thing. Second thing, you must have a performance procedures in place. You want to meet with them every single week of your life. Talk about 4 things in particular. You want to talk about sales. You want to talk about retail. You want to talk about Blueprint, which is your customer service standard. And you want to talk about their personal development. That's a weekly 15-minute meeting every week of their life. They'll never feel ignored. They'll know where they stand. They know what they need to perform with. Now, when you're finding out what their strengths and weaknesses are every single week, you've got to help them pull them right. So you've got to help them with their development. Maybe they need to go on a shaving course. Maybe they need to go into a dermaplaning course. Whatever it is, that's your obligation to go and help them with their personal development. But they have to be prepared to do things for you as well. Now, I want to start at that end of the scale, okay? I don't want to start at the end of the loving, because what we do is we're so desperate to get staff on board that the first thing we do is we love them, okay? Which means that we give them whatever pay they want within reason, and we give them bonuses, and we give them commissions, and we give them time off, and we just cuddle them. And then after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, sometimes I get a message saying, my staff only take 1 times their wage or 2 times their wages because you've been cuddling them too much, Mark. So start off with them on a performance basis, treating them quite toughly but fairly and on a professional level. Then once you've got that established, I want you to move into the motivational, the development of a team standard, where you are actually getting them involved in some decision making, where you're getting them involved with the way the business is developing, where you're getting them involved in their own personal development at a much higher level, where they can see that there's a future for them, maybe as the salon trainer, maybe as the next salon manager, maybe as the retail trainer. They got to have something to go for and aim for. And then during all this period, you're going to be doing the incentives, because everyone has got the same problems as you. You know, everyone has got a rent or a mortgage or a car or a girlfriend or a husband or something that needs some sort of money or funding to oil the wheels of their life. Okay, so you've got to keep growing them. And then I think the last level is the social level. I don't think you should start off at the social level and work your way backwards. Then you need to work on the interaction of your team, whether you're getting them to exhibitions, whether you're taking them out for nights out, whatever it is. You've got to be all singing, all dancing, all inclusive. Mark, if you ever want team training, I do a whole day's course if you ever need me, or if you want to do a video call, I can help you in more detail. I hope that has helped. Some great points tonight. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Who we got next? Who's down here? Jennifer Humid joined. Good evening, Jennifer. Thank you. As a shop owner, Lisa, should we buy clippers and foils, etc., or should they buy their own? I always bought my own. Okay. I'm going to give you a practical, maybe a legal standpoint. Unless they're self-employed, you should provide everything for your workforce to do their job. Okay. So I think the only exception I've seen on a consistent basis where they buy their own is usually something like scissors. Sometimes it's clippers because they want a personal, item that's lighter, or they want one that's cordless or whatever. But it's up to you legally to provide them with everything that they need to do their job. So that's the legal standpoint on a practical level, I think that is also the right thing to do, unless there's something they personally want. Yes, I know what you're going to say next. They're going to bounce them on the floor. Look, you're insured, or you build it into your prices, or build it into your profit, whatever you got to do. You know they're going to drop them. They know they're going to break them. They're mostly not doing it on purpose. But it's up to us to buy the equipment for the team. Now, the next person, you can phone in, guys. 07931. I got my phone by you. Look, we're ready to go. 07931 518 642. It's Wednesday night. It's 2056, 5 to 9. We've got another 35 minutes. I'm here to help you with anything you want in the salon, hairdressing, beauty, spa, therapy, clinic, holistic, anything you want. In this industry, I'm here to help you tonight with quick answers to your quick questions. If it's a big, long answer, we'll catch up after the show. I'm on till midnight tonight. If anybody's got any problems after this, by all means, just go to my calendar and we'll do a free video call for 15 minutes or something. The next thing, the people you should not be listening to. Who do you think they are, guys? Any ideas? Okay. The next lot of people you shouldn't listen to. Mark, you might like this after what I just said 2 seconds ago. Mark, you're going okay, but we'll catch up with you again soon. Thought I'd throw a few questions to start. Look, Mark, that was great. I appreciate anyone who's taken the time to think about the quality of this board and the information that I can give you. Look, the reason I do this board is I want you guys to not be worried about getting support, getting help. Okay, I want you to feel as if coaching is a good thing for you. You may not want me in the short term. Maybe you want me in the long term. I'm also trying to demonstrate that my knowledge is strong and I can help you in most areas of your business. But don't worry about anything. You can privately message me, any of you, if you got any issues. The third person I don't want you to listen to, but I'm going to put a caveat in here. The third person I don't want you to listen to in your business is your staff. Now, this sounds wrong because you can't really run a long-term and developing business by ignoring your team. But this is what I mean. Do not listen to your team when it comes to matters of strategy. If you are deciding on something like a price point, a price level, okay, you've got to do the calculation. You can't do this and you can't use the competition. You have got to do the price calculation. Once you have that price, you then need to make sure that that reflects the type of business that you are and that that price can perform for you in the business. There is no point at all in asking your staff for their opinion on it because it's a mathematical equation. 80%, 90% of it is. So you got to work out the maths and you basically got to tell them, listen, guys, this is what we have got to produce to get this. Okay. So you got to look at your, your flexible costs, your fixed costs, and then you got to look at your profitability. You cannot be going to them for that sort of thing. You can also not go to them for things like products. Do not go to your teams and say, listen, guys, I'm thinking of changing our products, okay? If you got 5 staff, they're coming back with 5 ranges. Okay, if you got 10 staff, they're coming back with 10 ranges. And that's all you're going to end up with is 9 of them are not going to like what others have chosen, okay? So you cannot have open-minded things like that. Buying a ranging is a strategic thing for you. What does the brand say about you? What is the profitability? What is the price point? Does it match the rest of your ethos? Is it organic? Whatever it is, it's a decision for you as a business person, okay? Don't get your team involved in the strategic parts of your business. Too many people are scared stiff of their team, okay, for pricing, for products, that they're making the wrong decisions. Okay, so far, no bank managers. Check out your accountants really well and do not give decisions of strategy to your team. Okay, more questions. Jamie, good evening, Jamie. I haven't caught up with you for a while, but it's nice that you're on here. Thank you. Lisa Williams said, staff again, move it. I know you are, move. Negative people, what would I do about them? Okay. Yes, don't listen to staff, Lisa. I was justifying it. Don't listen to your staff. Now, of course, it's the same with customer service standards. Sorry, Jamie, I'll come back to you now on negative people. Lisa, it's the same with when you set in a standard. For example, if I went into McDonald's, every place will have 2 minutes for cooking their fries. Every single member of their team will say, would you like fries with that? Every single person has their role, and every single business is the same or highly similar. They don't have a team meeting and say, how would you like to ask it? How long would you like to cook the fries for? Do you think we should put, this much lettuce in, or would you just like to leave the lettuce out? Okay. They do not have that kind of autonomy, and neither should you, a team. You have to set your standards. Let me tell you why. You set your standards to what you want. You're the salon owner. You're the entrepreneur. Let's say that you opened a salon and you got 10 staff. You decide what happens, okay? Because one thing I can almost guarantee is that all 10 staff are going to leave you. So what you're left with is you and that business model. Okay, so that business model has to be rolled out against the second shop and the third shop and the fourth shop. Okay, so when I had 4 salons, we had all the same products. We had all the same things we said to our clients. We answered the phone all in the same way. Okay, now at that level, you do not want to get your staff involved in anything. However, you do want to get them involved when you're doing things like what's the best way to retail? How can we help each other? How do we, grow our business? What are our customers saying? What do you think would be good promotions for us? You know what I mean? You do want to get your teams involved, okay? But when it's a matter of strategy or a matter of the business model, you do not want them involved at that kind of level. Now, if you've got really good senior managers, as some salons I go in have, yes, we get the manager in because they've had 20 years, 30 years experience in the industry. They've got a big contribution to make. And your whole team have a contribution to make. They just cannot influence you. You cannot allow them to influence you on matters of strategy. Okay. One last thing. What is the percentage of turnover do we invest in new products? Okay, Mark. Okay, well, I know you're on the way out in a moment. I don't think it's a percentage of turnover in new products. If you're talking about retailing, okay, then you'll set a standard. Let's say it's 30 products on there. Those 30 products will answer all your solutions. You're not going to get, unless you've got more problems, you don't need any more products. Unless you've got more, customer problems. I don't think it is a percentage of turnover, because it's all to do with what your client needs. Maybe you can clarify that for me if you're still around, Mark, but I don't think that a percentage of turnover goes towards new products. If you need new products and you are going to sell them, then they're going to pay for themselves almost instantly. Yes, I know what you meant, Jamie. Don't listen to negative people. Absolutely right. I 100% agree. Negative people are going to bring you down to your knees, which leads me to the 4th type of people. Hi, Greta. Thank you for joining me this evening. Hope you're well. If you have any questions tonight, guys, it's now just gone 9 o'clock. You can phone in 07931 518 642. I'm just making a quick note here. Percentage of sales. No, I don't think there's a percentage of sales before you bring in new products. If you need them, you can sell them, and it's going to solve a customer problem. You need them because that's going to make you money, Mark. The 4th person, I started off with this at the beginning of the night. The 4th person, or the type of people you do not want to listen to, and this is the most important group, guys. You do not want to, this is general, listen to your family, okay? Your family are not going to be generally the right people to help you with your business decisions. Let me tell you why, and you already know why. It's because they love you. They want you to have a low-risk strategy to your business. They don't want you to work 12 hours a day. Okay, they want you to work 8 hours a day and come home or go home. They want you to have weekends off and spend it at the rugby with the kids. They don't want you working your socks off. They don't want you remortgaging your house, okay, so you can open the 3rd salon. All right, these are business decisions, and you're asking the wrong people. Now, 1 or 2 of you will say, my father's I don't know, a multi-millionaire, and he's run these shops, and there's going to be exceptions. I understand. But on the whole, this is very general, but it is the vast majority of our families want to protect us. They want us to be low risk. They don't want us to take chances. Don't ask them for advice. Honestly, you're better off grabbing yourself a coach, an accountant in taxation, or even another business person, a mentor, someone who's got a successful business, someone who has been through, the pain that you have been through. These are great people to get advice from. Now, they might also say to you, look, I wouldn't go through it again, but this is what I did and this is what I achieved. Do not go to your families for advice. I'm going to pick that up again in a moment. Hi, Carl, just finished work. Sorry to have missed the first half. Greta, I appreciate it. Even if you dropped in for the last 2 minutes, it is fantastic to have everyone on here tonight. Johnny Cox, you lost me. I don't know if I lost you on a subject or just lost you as a connection, but I am still here and I haven't stopped talking for about 36 minutes. No, I haven't. 36 minutes so far. Okay, so these people are your families. Of course, they love you. They're trying to give you the right information. Of course, we got to respect them, but you do not want to be going to them and saying, look, I want to open another salon. What do you think? I want to remortgage my business, my house. What do you think? I'm planning on working 5 nights a week, until 10 o'clock. They are just all going to say, no, you got other commitments. You got other things you got to do. And if you're a lifestyle salon, I hate that terminology. Personally, it doesn't work for me because that just says to me that people see the lifestyle as using the business to maintain what they want. I always think about a lifestyle salon really should be that you get your business right so you can take advantage of your lifestyle, not work down to your current lifestyle, okay? Okay, who else we got? Michelle Marshall, good evening. How are you, Michelle? I have messaged you recently. Hope you're well. Hope everything's good in Cardiff. Listen, guys, so those are the people. You need to be very, very careful about those people. You need to be careful with your bank manager, careful with your accountant. You need to be careful with your friends and family, and you need to be careful with strategic decisions with your team, okay? It's got to be managerial. It's got to be entrepreneurial when you're making all of those decisions. Look, today on one of the forums, I'm going to switch on to prices. We did start on it earlier. Today, one of the forums, there was a big old debate going on. In fact, I was the moderator on one group, and I had to kind of take this post down or actually stop the post at one stage. I don't know if there's anyone on here now. I got a big, massive list this evening of people. If I'm missing any of your questions, my apologies. There's lots of you, and it's absolutely fantastic to see you on here. What I want to talk to you about is pricing in some degree, because it is so important to your business to get your prices right. And we're kind of split, okay? The industry, and I'm talking about all the industry now, is split on pricing. We're split between those who know and believe that if I can get my prices up, my business has a better chance of success, and I'm going to get better rewards and things are going to get better. And the other half of the industry is saying, I got to keep pushing my prices down to beat my competition, and I'm going to get more and more and more and more and more customers, okay? Now, there's obviously a few people in between, but let's keep it at that for a moment. Let me tell you now, you are never, ever, ever going to beat your competition on prices. It's impossible. If I open a salon today charging £20 for a haircut, the next salon that comes along is going to be daft enough to undercut me at £19.50. Okay, and if I undercut them to £18 within a few months, they'll be £16. All right, we're just going down and down and down and down to the bottom. And the thing is with price, I guarantee you, people are not coming to you because of your price. Michelle, people are not coming to you because of your price. I know why people are going to Michelle's. People go to Michelle's for Michelle. They go to her because she is awesome. They go to her because her and her team are fantastically well trained, and the customer gets what they want. No one ever goes into someone like Michelle's and says, I come here because your prices are good, okay? So you've got to start moving away from this price issue, guys. Who else we got new? Yeah. Okay, Michelle, that'd be great. Look, we need to catch up. Got loads and loads of stuff, and we've got some stuff going on in Cardiff that I want to kind of discuss with you. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you for joining me this evening. If you have any questions, anyone at all, 07931 518 642. You can phone in right now. I can take your calls. I can give you your answers. Or if you're a bit shy, you can put up some questions on the board by here, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. You've got another 20 minutes. I can answer anything that you want regarding our industry. If it points you in the right direction, gives you a bit of incentive, then I'm happy about that. Look, this is Quick Coach TV. I run this every Wednesday night. And yes, I am talking fast because we have 1 hour and I want to help as many people as we can. Okay, what we got? Michelle, absolutely, that's great. Dan Davis, good evening, Dan. Thank you for joining me. Hope you're well. The best advice to give on prices is you put it by 20%. Okay, well, I mean that's a good yardstick. You never actually know how many of your customers you will leave when you put your prices up. But I always kind of tell my clients that when we put your prices up, because we work it out on an individual basis, and it's very rarely any less than 10%, I always say we are going to lose customers. It's got to be a realization that when you put your prices up, do you know what? If you put your prices up by £1, okay, which in some cases could be something like, not even 0.5%, someone will object on some daft principle, okay? So when you put your prices up, people are definitely going to leave you. But what it means is it's going to release you to take the customer that isn't concerned about price. So if you went from 20 to 25 pounds, okay, which is a 20% increase, then, or 25% increase if you take it over the 20 pounds, then that next person isn't as sensitive to pricing as your previous one. Okay, so I'm not talking about to you, Dan, I'm talking about everyone in general. So yes, you're going to lose some clients. I think that's a good test. If you put them up by 20%, would you lose 20%? The answer to that, in my mind, in most places, is no, you wouldn't. Therefore, Dan is saying that that is an indicator that you're taking the right decision. I did have this discussion. I'm just going to see if he's on you now. There's a gentleman I was working with as a barber, and we put his prices up pretty quickly. And I think even before I arrived, he was at about £9. He's now up to about £17, £18. He had some reservations, and he did send me a message around 6 months ago and said, listen, Carl, I'm 67% up year on year. Okay, so yes, he got a smash in. Yes, he lost some customers. Maybe some of them weren't through the pricing. Maybe it was other issues as well. 67%. Put prices up. Listen, guys, you've got to get a grip with pricing. I don't know what Habs is. You're going to have to give me a clue, Greta. Yep, that's a test for me. HAVS. What in what kind of context are we talking? I bet someone else will know. Anybody know what HAVS is? And then I can give Greta a quick answer. Moving very wow. Lisa Williams. Wow, great. I don't know what you're wowing about. Is it the pricing? I haven't got a clue. You got to tell me when I'm doing well and when I'm not doing well, guys. So pricing, you've got to get your prices up. Nearly everyone can get their prices up. And every salon that I've been to since 2012 has increased their prices. Okay, and I don't go with that idea. I go and I check all their costs plus all their potential profit or forecast profit, if you like. We work out the correct prices for them to become a profitable salon. We then work out how much per minute they need to generate, and we put their prices up to that. And it always, always, always has worked. Okay, so I'm not telling you, it's not an opinion. This is something that's happened and worked hundreds of times, okay? Of course, there's objections. Some customers don't like it. Some customers leave. And even sometimes, some staff object. And I think that is absolutely ludicrous. Okay. Let me go. It was a... Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, no, I'm not familiar with HAVS. I am familiar with white finger, and obviously carpal syndrome. Again, I mean, there's lots of people out there suffering with that. It's a difficult industry to manage. It's not something that I'm familiar with. I think it sounds like something for a doctor, maybe not a coach, though. But I will have a look at it after. It's important that I have as much information as I have. But thank you, Aaron. That's really, really cool bit of information. And thank you, Greta, for picking that up, because I'm flying through these so much I can't see what's going on. Okay, what's that? Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm going back up now, Jamie. Can you imagine the recommendation? Go to a salon, they're dead cheap. You know what I mean? Who wants to go to a dead cheap salon? You know, I've actually been doing my my notes. I've got a conference. No, I haven't. I got a seminar coming up in Cardiff on October the 14th. Okay, it's a Christmas workshop. The first part of the workshop is all about customer service, and it's about pricing. And the reason that pricing is part of a Christmas workshop is because there's no point doing anything else in your business if your prices are wrong. There's no point us going to get you another 100 customers. There's no point us doing the marketing plan of the century to get in another 100 or 200 customers who are all underpaying. I don't want to get you more customers so you can lose more money. Okay, so the first part of my seminar is all about pricing. How do I set them and why should I set them? And the number one thing I talk about in the pricing is it's your number one marketing tool. What your price level is at is the first thing that the customer will see, the first thing that your customer will make a decision on you, rightly or wrongly, okay? Now, I do know that a cheap haircut and an expensive haircut doesn't necessarily mean that the standard is a lot different, okay? But the customer perception is that an expensive haircut or an expensive color or an expensive salon is highly likely to be a lot better than an inexpensive or, to term Jamie, a cheap salon. Okay, nobody brags to their friends. I go to a cheap salon. Okay, well, I say maybe some people do. Maybe some people are super, super, super price sensitive. And for the people I'm working with, you're not. I'm not going to be working with you if you've got a salon that is super price sensitive. If you're charging £4 or £5 for haircuts, guys, I'm never ever going to be visiting you. We're never going to kind of meet up. We're never going to get there. So you need to put all this in context. On the whole, more salons that I visit, more salons on the high street could be charging a whole lot more and not losing any customers, making yourself more profit, making your lives better, guys. I have no idea why you guys make your lives so tough. Okay, where else are we? Yep, I don't know if you caught that bit, Michelle. Never worry about people leaving. In fact, the first thing I said about when you want to keep people is to make sure you don't worry about them leaving. You cannot be a consideration. You must have a system that ensures that you do everything you can to stop them leaving, but not retrospectively. You don't want to wait until they come to you and say, give me a pay rise or I'm going. But don't worry about people leaving. Sorry, Aaron. I didn't have my house. Oh, Lisa, like I said, every salon is different. I know you haven't put your prices up as much as I would suggest. I can only go on all the history I have and the information that I get of people when I'm kind of giving them advice or coaching them. I think whatever you think your price is, honestly, I think if you think you should be putting your prices up by 5%, you probably should be putting them up by 10%. If you put them up by 10%, you're probably still another 5% out because we're reticent. I don't know why we don't want to put our prices up. We're almost embarrassed, aren't we? Salon owners seem to be embarrassed about the thought. I'm not talking about you, Lisa. I'm talking about everyone here, half the industry. Why is the industry so embarrassed about the thought of making money? We're embarrassed for other people to see us doing well. Okay, it doesn't make sense. It certainly doesn't make sense as an entrepreneur. I think it might make sense from hairdresser to hairdresser or therapist to therapist, because that's how you came up with your owner. So I kind of understand you might have been indoctrinated in that way. It doesn't make sense. You should be out there as the salon owner, maximizing your sales and your profits. That's what you're here for. You're not there to minimize them. You're not there to keep the prices just about right to keep people happy. You're there to get your prices as high as you can, your profits as high as you can, whilst looking after your customers. They won't care, guys, whether your cut and blow dries are £20 or £25 or £25 or £35. They come there for you. They're happy with you. They love you. They love your salon. Okay, who have I got down here? Tina Kelly-John, good evening, Telly. Tina, hope you're well this evening. Michelle Marshall, service. Look, service, not just for Michelle. There's a good saying, and it's in my book as well. You cannot beat your customers. Sorry, you cannot beat your competition on two things. You cannot beat them on price. It is impossible. If I've got a £10 haircut in a barber shop, next door is going to be £9, okay? Then the next shop that opens will be £8 because they think they're going to pinch all their customers. You're never going to beat them on price. Now, on service, and we're talking about two different things here, Michelle. Service, you cannot beat someone on the actual service of the haircut, of the color, of the perm, because my haircuts and your haircuts, or my colors and your colors, to the client on the whole, aren't much different, okay? Unless you're doing top-end fashion work or something. If someone comes in and they have an all-over Auburn in my shop, it's not going to look a lot different to the all Auburn 4 doors down, no matter what they are paying, okay? So you can't beat someone on price. You can't actually beat them on the service of the cut. You can only beat them on customer service, okay? The actual experience that the client is having, because nobody can copy that. Nobody else has got a Carl. Nobody else has got a Michelle. You can only beat your competition on your overall service, and that includes retailing, guys. It's the only time tonight I've had my book out, Salon Products, Sell or Die Trying. If you haven't bought that book already, you need to message me. No, you need to get on Amazon. You need to get it now, because retailing is the best way that you can get an advantage over your competition really quickly. Within days, you could read that book and improve your sales and improve your customer service. I do want to tell you a little bit about Christmas before I lose you. Okay, we've got 10 minutes, and I'm going to come to Greta's comment in a moment. I'm running a Christmas workshop in Cardiff on October the 14th, okay? Message me or go to my page in events. It's there. It's going to be limited numbers, and I'm going to help you have the best Christmas that you've ever had, okay? And I'm also going to make sure that you are set up for the best January you have ever had, because we do Christmas and we forget about the new year, and then we make loads of money for Christmas and we have a really miserable January. Well, next year, that is not going to happen, okay? So we have got a Christmas workshop in Cardiff in the Angel Hotel on October the 14th. Okay, we got early bird tickets. They're £89 per person now, but they will run up to, I think, £149 in the last week or two running up to the event. I am going to be talking about pricing there. I am going to be talking about retailing. I am going to be talking about marketing, okay? The key things that you need to make yourself a great Christmas, but I want you to think a little bit into the new year as well. Okay, service. Okay, Greta, what we got? A question about something that happened today. You asked a new client for a deposit. Oh, great, what happened then? Sorry, I got to just, and she didn't pay. Okay, so my take on deposits. So first of all, my take is on booking fees, not on deposits. That's more of a legal issue. And because it's clearer to the client, if you got a non-refundable booking fee, okay, then it's clearer to them than getting a deposit, which sometimes and legally is refundable. My view, and as always has been, that for big services, so colors, weddings, all that sort of stuff, you get a deposit at the point of the consultation. Okay, that's always been my view with all the salons that I've owned and run and the clients I work with now. In some salons, we have to take more deposits because and the lower the price of the salon, again, tends to be people who don't want to pay deposits or don't like to pay it. So getting your prices up there, you'll have a client who isn't so worried about it for whatever reason they would be worried about it. In some salons, and certainly in barbershops, I'm actually adverse to taking deposits, because if you're coming in for a £10 haircut and you're maybe losing 5 to 10% of your customers a year, look, you can build that into your prices. You can build that into your walk-ins. You can build that into other things. I don't think you should inconvenience the client any more than you need to. But for colors, I cannot see why you would do a color consultation and not take the money there and then. If they're a regular client, then you should have booked them when they left and taken the money off them. If they're phoning in, then I would say, you need to pay this deposit. Please call back and I will book you in once you call back. Okay. I know, Michelle. As a client, as long as I feel I had the barber's time and not just another haircut, I'm happy to pay. That's the point, Aaron. Excellent. The whole point is the haircut you're doing and the haircut that the salon's doing next door. I know there's exceptions. It's probably not that different to the client. Okay, sometimes I have a haircut somewhere and then I have someone else. To me, it looks fine. I brush my hair. I look in the mirror, it looks great. My wife says to me, God, where have you been? You look absolutely shocking, awful. You go, this bit's sticking. Okay, to me, it's a haircut. It's fine. And the prices, one might be £20, one might be £15, whatever. I can't tell. Most clients can't tell the difference. Some clients can, of course, because they're well educated. Michael, I found an old example of my price increase. I found an old price list from 15 years ago. So you've gone from £17 to £56. That is absolute. I don't know how that works out, but I bet you there's a whole army of people who are not doing as well as that. I bet you there's people on here charging £17 15 years ago and charging £24 or something now. I can almost guarantee, because they will not put the prices up. It'll be every 3 or 4 years people put their prices up. Okay, and then it's 50p or a pound. You've got to put your price up, guys. Otherwise, you're either going to suffer, either financially or emotionally. How can you run a business with all that emotion? You're going to start, I tell you what will happen. You don't have your prices high enough. You will start looking at your staff, resenting them. You'll start thinking, oh, look, they get paid more than me. You know what I mean? Oh, they get in more than me. They're on holidays all the time. Look at my friends. You will start, I don't like this terminology, but to get them, bitching on yourself. You will not benefit from having low prices. Michael, that is awesome. And when I see you, I'm going to put your prices up even more. Michelle, yep. Oh, thank you. That's nice. Yeah, thank you, Jamie. Yes, this book he's talking about, this book has helped Jamie a lot. And he's put some comments on my social media. And I actually went back and did say, look, this young man is doing fantastic stuff with his salon and with his retailer. And he's introduced his own brand of products as well. You should go and have a look. It's on my page. It's Move Salon, Move Hair and Beauty. And you can do it as well, guys. Read the book. There's an online course as well. The online course, in fact, is £99 this week, but it's going back to $350 if anybody's going to buy it. By the end of this week, it'll be back to normal. It was the launch price. It's 14 hours of learning. You guys can be selling products, guys, like there's no tomorrow. Greta, I bought it recently, and I'm in the process of getting our own retail products. Greta, that is fantastic. Let's not have any barriers, guys. Let's get out there. Let's get retailing. It is the way our industry has to move forward. There's no other industry in the world that would turn away, maybe 20 or 30% of their sales because of some principles that they've got logged in their mind. I asked that rather than a deposit, yeah. But I still believe that we should be getting booking fees or deposits, don't matter what you call them. Get them for the high expenditure. But you've got to get them to secure it. Lisa Williams, £8, 11 years, £13 now. I mean, that doesn't tell me a good story. I got to be honest with you. That's like, 40p a year or something, or 50p a year. Come on. I mean, your bills, are not going up at that rate. What was £8 11 years ago? I can't think of anything, but 11 years ago, I can tell you maybe a pint of beer was about £1.50. Now it's about £4 or £5. So listen, guys, you've got to move with the times. Do you want to make money? That's all what it's about. Once you decide you want to make money, you got to take down the barriers. There's no reason why you can't make more money. The only thing that's stopping you is in your head or your family, okay, or someone like that. But it's only you that's stopping you. Trust me. I've never, in fact, I was telling someone yesterday, I have never come across a business that I've been phoned to or even video called that could not become successful, but I have met many salon owners who will not become successful because of themselves. When I sit down with someone and I see all their documents, I see all their accounts, I meet their teams, I look at their business, within a few hours, I know this can absolutely make money. Within an hour, I can tell that the salon owner is never going to make any money. Lisa, Defo, okay, what we got here? Greta, even your regulars for expensive services. And do you know what the good thing is, Greta? You could do that now and do it on the premise of, we're going to trial this for Christmas. You know what trials are like, don't you? The government do trials all the time, which means we're introducing it whether you want it or not. So introduce it for Christmas. Just say, listen, we're introducing booking fees for November and December because and everyone will go, yeah, I understand, and then just carry on in January. One of my team was on Nori, now she's on Ari. My God, you should give her a medal the size of a dustbin lid, Jamie. And on that note, got 1 minute left. I'm happy to stay here if you guys want to stay here, but I don't want to bore you to death, and I want to keep this punchy. Jamie, that is fantastic. That is a super, super performance. I know that performance, though, Jamie, is available with every single member of staff in every salon in the country, and even much, much higher than that. If they're a full-time person, £300, £400, £500 a week on retail is somewhat achievable. You got 10 of them, you got $5,000. I don't know where the people are with their business heads. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of customer service. It's a lot of profit because there's no wages involved. Listen, we're about to wrap up. You got time if you want to phone in. 07931 518 642. Going to give you an extra minute if you want to phone in with anything. I don't want to leave any of you hanging. Hopefully, I've answered every single question that I can for you tonight. If not, I'm going to be back here next Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. British Summer Time, answering as many questions as I can. Don't forget, I want to see you guys in Cardiff. It is limited numbers. I want to see you in Cardiff on October the 14th. Go and get your early bird tickets now for the Christmas seminar. I promise you, it'll help you have the best Christmas, not just financially, but also in terms of stress, because we are going to be properly organized for Christmas. We're going to take some of your Christmas stress away, and we're going to make sure that you're ready to start the new year. There's also the book, as you have seen. You should still get it. In fact, it'd be a great present for Christmas. Start getting them, start wrapping them up. Your staff would absolutely love them, and you'll love the extra sales. For now, that's all. My name's Carl Hinder. I'm the business coach with Salon Help. Just going to check if there's any more questions. I'm not going to leave. There's a new comment coming here. Sorry, guys. We're just going to make sure that everyone is happy tonight. What we got? Sorry, I'm freezing. I'm still moving at this end. I haven't had one freeze on my screen tonight, so I'm going to keep going. Johnny, I am going to Master Barbers. Hey, listen, guys, before I go, I'm at Master Barbers. I'm going up to, or down to, whichever, Crawley this Saturday. Okay, so if you're in the barbering sector, I will be in Crawley Saturday afternoon. I'm going to be at the Aurora Hotel. If anybody wants to talk business on the Saturday afternoon or the Saturday evening, you can catch me then. Please, if I haven't met you before, shake my hand, tap me on the shoulder, say hi, let's buy some coffee, let's do a beer, let's do something, let's network, let's talk, let's shake hands. I'm going to be at the British Master Barbers Barbering event in Crawley this Saturday afternoon and all day Sunday. Please give me the nod, send me messages. I'll find you somewhere in the room or somewhere in the bar, and we will talk business. Johnny, I'm looking forward to seeing you. We had a really great conversation last time. Be interesting to see what you've done and what you've changed. Thanks, Carl. No problem, Greta. You're welcome. Michelle, great job, Carl. Thank you very much, Michelle. I really want to see you soon. And Johnny Cox, I know it's Sunday, but I'm going to be there on Saturday night, and then all day Sunday. I don't want to miss anyone. But for tonight, that's it. We are done. That's over an hour of Quick Coach TV. I'll be back here next Wednesday, hopefully with better reception, better connection, but I will be back here. Definitely look forward to it, mate. Take care. See you all next Wednesday. If you want me before, I'm on till midnight tonight. Happy to take calls. 07931 518. Happy to take video calls. Happy to take messages. If not, catch you next Wednesday.